Hey, how's it going? The details of this story are a little iffy. On the 14th of June, in Mexico State, in Mexico, the military was driving a convoy through the countryside about 100 miles outside of Mexico City, and they were moving through the village of Texcaltitlan, I believe is how you say it, Texcaltitlan? I'm sure I'm not saying that right. As they passed through the village, they were fired upon. The convoy unloaded, and a firefight ensued. According to official reports, the police suffered no casualties. When the fight was over, Mexican police went up into the village. They captured 9 La Familia who were running away, and they found the bodies of 10 others. They also collected a bunch of guns and a couple cars. But it was on one of the bodies that they found something that they weren't expecting to find. One of the gang members had taken cover behind the wall of a building, and it was there that he had taken several rounds to the chest, which killed him. At first, as they approached the body, they were confused. They didn't understand really what they were looking at. There was a small mound on top of the man that when they got closer, they realized was the body of a monkey. This monkey was holding on to the front of the man's shirt with his face buried in his chest, and one of the monkey's legs had been blown apart by the rounds that had traveled through it and into his owner. When they flipped the monkey over off of the dead man, they found that it was wearing a tiny little pullover hoodie, on top of which it had a little tiny ballistic vest. They took pictures of the boy who was dead, who was predicted to be in his early 20s, and of course of the monkey. 2 days later, they released that news to the public. The day after that, something kind of surprising happened. A member of the cartel, or at least that's what people think. It's not proven that whoever put out this tweet was a member of the cartel, but the tweet in question contained video footage that implied that they were somebody on the inside, somebody who had better information than your just normal folk. It's accompanied by a narco corrido, which is essentially a drug ballad. Corrido, narco corrido. I am butchering that word. I'm not going to try to put any sizzle on that word. Anyway, this is the video that was put out on social media.
Es una vida muy corta. El chango no le tocaba. Alguien le robó su historia porque él vino a triunfar y a brillar en tantas cosas. Hay testigos de por medio cómo lo ejecutaron. El changuito no era bravo, pero tampoco dejado. Ya va con rumbo al cielo, pero nos dejó un legado.
The monkey was referred to as El Changuito, which means the little monkey. He was also called the Sicario monkey. The song laments the death of El Changuito. It says that he was murdered and that there were witnesses who saw the murder. It says that he was too good for this world and that he died well before his time. And it ends with a picture of him in heaven. What struck me as kind of crazy is the idea that even an organization as violent and heartless as the cartel could not only support and care about a monkey, but that after the monkey died, that the cartel would lament the loss of the monkey. El Changuito is now kind of a legend. Is this doable? Is this even good? It seems clear to me that El Changuito was cared for by La Familia. Seems like they actually gave a shit about him dying, and I'm not trying to humanize the cartel or say that they deserve any kind of sympathy, but I do think it's an interesting dynamic. It isn't clear if the cartel is using El Changuito to try to garner sympathy points with the public. It's kind of a thing that La Familia Michoacana has done a lot of in the past, where they try to push the idea that they are the people's cartel, or whether or not it was a genuine show of sorrow and affection for the monkey. But I think at the end of the day, the reason doesn't really matter. Have you ever seen the cartel put out a remembrance video for a dead animal? I haven't. Have you ever heard them write a song for a dead animal? I haven't. If the cartel did take time to write a narco corrido about El Changuito, well then I think that's pretty crazy. I think that we could all stand to just take 5 minutes and appreciate the fact that this monkey in 1 year of life was more gangster than any of us will ever be. Pretty good for a 1-year-old spider monkey who found itself in the desert of Mexico. Pretty good. And I hope that today, whenever you're watching this, you can spend the rest of your day honoring El Changuito in your own little way, thinking about him, wondering what he was into. How much milk did he drink? Was he good at shooting guns? And where did they get that little ballistic vest from? Did they make it for him? So many questions that we'll never have the answer to. El Changuito was taken away by the military police, and an autopsy was performed on him, as is the case for all exotic animals that are killed in these kinds of conflicts. Oftentimes, the origin of one of these smuggled exotic animals can lead to some sort of breakthrough when it comes to the criminal activity of the cartels, so they're taken very seriously by the police. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're all right. Bye!